Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to another PalaView market research video. Today, I'm going to be discussing the power of compounding. Okay, compounding interest, but also compounding effort. Because one of my core beliefs is that there is no such thing as genius. There is only the results of compounding effort, right? Elon Musk is not a genius if he starts SpaceX and quits 5 years later. He's only a genius because he keeps at it after 15 years and shows up every day. Okay. That 12 hours of work that he's put in every day over the last 15 years building that company is the result of compounding effort. And you really don't get to see those results, to be honest, until you get to that kind of 15-year period, 10 to 15-year period, if you're a business owner. Okay. Especially a business like that one. Now, that's an extreme example, but you can even apply this type of thinking to like an Albert Einstein, right? If you show up and you think about physics, theoretical physics, every day for an hour a day, you're going to get pretty sick with it after the course of 20 years. And that's what illuminates genius. Genius is just the result of compounding effort. Now, this is why it's so powerful and why books like The Power of Habits, right? Habits are where you unlock this type of compounding growth for yourself. So if I start reading 50 pages a day, right, that kind of habit is something that's going to have a compounding benefit with time. And another way of describing a compounding benefit with time is an exponential return. So 1% better every day actually means that over the course of a year, you're 37 times better, right? If I show up and I learn some language, if I just apply myself for an hour a day over any freaking thing, right? You're going to experience incredible benefits. So, the same is true in finance. Of course, we understand compound interest pretty well. So, I'm going to break down an example comparing New York and Puerto Rico. Now, if you live in Puerto Rico, you are receiving a 4% income tax. You are able to dodge your federal income tax as well as any state income tax, right? So you're effectively at a 4% flat income tax. Now, if you were to move from New York to Florida, you wouldn't receive the same waiving of your tax rate to the same degree because you still have to pay the federal income tax. Where in Puerto Rico, if you spend half your time there, you're at a 4% income tax. So in Puerto Rico, you're making $500,000 a year. This is what it looks like after 15 years, right? And in New York City, you're getting taxed at 35% effectively if you're making $500,000 a year. So this is what it looks like, how much money you make over the course of a few years, right? And this is actually before the real compounding benefits start, which I keep saying is in that 20 to 25-year mark. Now, but as you can see, this is pretty interesting, right? I mean, this is a significant more amount of money, especially just after 4 or 5 years, right? 2.4 million after 4 years, 5 years, or whatever this is, and versus 1.6. So another way of looking at this in the context of a capital gain, right? Because capital gains is another way where you can experience compounding interest, especially if you have the skill of trading and speculating in the markets. So if I bought Bitcoin in March 2019 and I was living in Puerto Rico, then I bought it for this much. Same thing if I bought it on the same day and I was living in New York. I'm still living in Puerto Rico. I'm still living in New York and I sell it this month. 5 years later, after tax, I get to keep this much, which is 0%, right? And then from New York, I get to keep this much, right? This is a lot less. So you're taking 25% of whatever you're making and taking that away. So if you are losing 25% on every trade and that's hitting your portfolio every single time you have a short-term or long-term capital gain, then that is a kind of a big hit every trade and every success event that you have if you have to lose a quarter of it, right? So I find that this is a really nice way to understand the benefits of compounding because people in the context of moving to like a tax haven like Puerto Rico, they're like, "Oh, well, it doesn't really help me that much to save 20% a year," because they're thinking about it in the context of that 1 year. Whereas you're really making like almost twice the amount of money over the course of a 3 to 5 year period. And then over the course of a 15 to 20 year period, it's like 2.5 times much, right? So that's today's lesson on compounding. I want you guys to realize that everything that will make you look like a genius or a smart person is actually just the result of compounding effort, compounding investment. It doesn't matter if it's your body, it doesn't matter if it's your money, it doesn't matter if it's your mind. Every little thing, every little intentional choice that you make that builds a positive habit in the direction of building my mind, building my body, building my money, right? These things will compound and you will have basically a body, a mind, and a money that pays dividends for you because the amount of effort that you need to apply every time goes down because of the consistency benefits, the compounding benefits that you receive by being consistent. Okay? Cool, guys. That's today's video. Get after it. It's Sunday. Woohoo. Praise Jesus.